everyone, it's Sally with the Polka Dot Life. I wanted to talk to you about a few things today before we start stamping. First of all, I wanted to remind you about our paper pumpkin subscription kit. They are awesome. We know a little bit about them each month, but not entirely everything about them. So October's kit is called Joy to the World, and you do need to be subscribed on or before October 9th. They can limit quantities as we get closer to that date. I also wanted to tell you about the Designer Series paper sale that's going on right now through the end of October. And there are just select patterns there. The best thing I can suggest that you do is go to the polkadotlife.com and click on that shop tab, and it will take you to my online store and you can browse the patterns. One of the patterns is the Playing with Patterns set, and there are 48 6x6 sheets in this, and they're double-sided. They're all different colors. It doesn't really show well here on this fanning out portion, but lots of fun colors. And that's what we're going to do today to make a card. I needed a few birthday cards. I needed a card for my uncle whose birthday was past, and I'm running behind, and so that one will be a belated card. And then I needed a birthday card for my sweet friend Jenny, who is celebrating her 90th birthday. I love both of them very dearly. They both are in some skilled nursing facilities. So the card we're going to make today is a card that's great for that, because they can prop those up and enjoy them in their rooms and for days to come. Especially right now, they're not getting visitors in most places. So just wanted to send a little hug in an envelope. Okay, as I mentioned before, I needed a few birthday cards. My first was for my uncle, and like I say, it is a belated card, but I figured it is better to send it late than not to send it at all. I know that he will enjoy getting some mail no matter whether the date is past his birthday or not. And the other one I'm going to show you in a little bit is for my friend, Miss Jenny. Miss Jenny was a member of my Bible study group for many years, and I love her dearly. Even though she has dementia and probably won't understand who it's from, I am sending it because I think that that's something that you never lose the happiness for. You never lose that happiness for getting some mail, knowing that somebody is caring about you. And even if she doesn't, a member of her family will know that someone has her in their thoughts and in their prayers. We're going to start out quickly first by doing some stamping. And we are going to do our stamping today in Night of Navy. I have the Stamparatus set up, and we are going to do this large sentiment from Happiest of Birthdays. That is where I am taking my birthday greetings from today. And I think that the Night of Navy is just kind of like the black ink. I like it dark and crisp, and it's a large stamp. And so the best way to do that is by setting it up on our Stamparatus so that we can stamp it as many times as we need to. And that is twice, and that actually looks pretty good. I am going to sit this off to the side, and I am going to bring in a Whisper White layer. And that is going to be part of an inside sentiment for our card. And this card, you can do so many things with it. It's a really versatile layout, but it is great, particularly for those people you're going to be sending a card to that might be hospitalized or in a nursing facility, or someone that you know just likes to keep your cards. We are going to stamp our sentiment right here on the top of this inside layer of our card. I have pulled our greeting off of our Stamparatus. I am going to take it and I am going to die cut it with this shape from our Stitch Rectangles Shapes dies. I will be right back. This layer was a little bit larger, but this was just a scrap that I had, and so I wanted to go ahead and use it. But it turned out really pretty. This card, like I say, is a really nice fun fold. And let's bring this over here. We're going to take our bone folder, and we are going to take this Whisper White thick. This needs to be thick Whisper White, not regular Whisper White, because this is going to be standing. And so we're going to hold those bottom edges, and we are going to score and push towards this score line, giving it nice creases. I will have all these measurements over at thepolkadotlife.com for you to use. We're going to bring this piece of Night of Navy cardstock. And again, I have these measurements for you all over there on my blog, but you do it this way, and then you fold your card this way, and you just make sure those sides are straight. And you score that there. Now let's work with our Night of Navy first. I'm going to bring in our Designer Series paper. And again, this is from the Playing with Patterns. Actually, either side would work, but I'm going to use this fun circle pattern. I just thought it was kind of playful. I don't have a recipient in mind for this card just yet, but I'm always needing a birthday card here or there. And this is one that's kind of gender friendly, and it just is age group friendly. It's just a happy pattern. So this fits right in here. Don't worry so much about the bottom. Just make sure that those top and side spaces are pretty even. Of course, you need to make sure it folds, but other than that, you just really want those three sides, make sure that those are even. And you can even take your bone folder and just lightly glide along there. Then we're going to take this piece and glue it on the bottom. Now, there are several different patterns of our papers, and whether it's in this set or many of the other ones, some of them are directional. So some of them you do need, particularly if it's a 6x6, you need to either make sure you have 2 sheets to cut from, or just be really super mindful of a pattern, just to make sure it's like fabric. You would want that to continue on down. It wouldn't have to be maybe exact this way, but if you had a pattern this way, you don't want that kind of all not lined up, if that makes any sense. So we're going to bring our card base in, have our fold at the top. We are going to put our glue on the back of our of our Night of Navy. And we're going to take this and see it folds up, and it just is like you're putting a normal layer on top of a card. But this one has some movement to it, and it's really nice. I think that's straight. You don't want to go all super crazy because you don't want a shiny mark on the front of your card. But this is nice because it, and I guess I'll turn it this way for you to see how that is. It opens like a regular card, but it goes this way so that it sits nicely on a dresser or windowsill. I'm going to Just move this over for 1 second. I have this Whisper white layer, and I glued it on top of this Night of Navy piece of cardstock to match with the theme of our card. We are going to just bring this in, and we're going to just make it sort of like some of the fun folds that we've done in the past. I am just going to put some glue here because I was going to put it up here, but if we do that, then we run the risk of it, and you know, you just don't see it as well when somebody first opens it and pulls it out of the envelope. But I want to make sure that I have enough glue down here to hold this. But we're just going to take this and just kind of center it. And it can be a little closer to the top or the bottom. That part doesn't really matter, but I think that you would want it centered side to side. And sometimes, depending on the pattern of the paper, that can be a little tricky to see. But you'll see this when you pull it out of the card, but you will also see it as it's sitting up. And it just has more of that lovely, fun circle pattern in the back. I'm going to take this inside layer. I know that we really didn't need an extra full layer, but I don't know, sometimes I just like to do that. And sometimes I just don't like to stamp directly on my card base. If it's something that I've already invested a lot of time and have a lot of paper layers on, I don't always like to do that. Because, like I say, I am often known for not getting things straight. And again, I would want these three to be lined up before I worried too much about up here, as long as it folds. So this is super fun, and I have to put it down here so y'all can see it, but it kind of flops open too. I have this fun ribbon, and I'm trying to decide, I think I want to put it up here in the corner, and then we'll just, of course we could put it there as well. Or we could put it behind. That would be an option too, but I think that going through the mail, that wouldn't be so friendly. And this probably is going to go through the mail. We'll just push it up here in the corner, and then we'll trim the ends. So it's great for ribbon to use our glue dots. And they kind of come large, even though they're called mini, they're still a little bit large. So I like to take them and just kind of fold it onto itself a few times. The ribbon we're using today is also part of the Playing with Patterns suite. And it's Coastal Cabana for one ribbon, and then Night of Navy for the other. And I just tied those two together. But you can see that comes right off with that. And it is the best way to really get a nice grip on that ribbon. And we're going to put that up there so it's not hanging out to catch in the envelope. And we're just going to press and hold. It'll stick, but we want to really get it sticky. And let's see here. Let's just start, and let's cut these a little shorter. And I don't want to do them too short and then not have them look right. You don't want them to be too much shorter, especially than your bow loops. So that green ribbon, that Coastal Cabana ribbon, is a little bit stiff. You could rub some fabric softener sheet over it. Sometimes that helps to get it a little bit softer. But I just think that it's fun, it's cute. If you knew that you were going to be sending this to a woman, In particular, I might end up taking a rhinestone and putting it where your eyes are. Those would be cute little accents. But I wanted to keep this one gender friendly, just kind of gender neutral. And this is driving me crazy. I have to make this a little bit smaller. There. I am super picky about my ribbons. But I think that this is fun and somebody can enjoy this card for a really long time. I will probably just do an envelope and decorate the flap with this coordinating cardstock or this designer series paper. This is the card that I did for my friend, Miss Jenny. I put this is using some of the stamps from the Forever Greenery suite and the papers, and they are just so pretty. There's just every color that you can imagine of green in there. I think it has all of our greens. This is just jade. And I just I put some of these together, put some tear and tape underneath here to hold them together, and then I used that to also secure this linen thread. And it just sits up really beautifully. It has this gold foil circle to make it stand out, but this, again, that designer series paper is doing the heavy lifting. And then I used that sentiment on the inside of this card. This is the card that I made for my uncle. And I like that stamp set, the Happiest of Birthdays set, also has belated greeting on it as well. And then I needed something else. And sometimes I struggle with masculine cards of what images to use. So I got to thinking about one that I had in my stash from my paper pumpkin. And this, I think, was like 2 months ago. I think it was August, the August kit. I think it's called World's Greatest. And it had this ribbon, this metal. And so I decided to use that. And then it had the stamp set, You're the Best. The one thing that's really great about paper pumpkin is that once the supplies are gone, you still have a stamp set and you get to keep that. And so it's right around 20-ish, $20 to $22 after shipping and whatnot to get a paper pumpkin kit. And you can always make several things with the supplies that come in your kit, but then you always have that stamp set, and I save mine. Let me know what your favorite stamp set is. I think my favorite of all time was the one that we had this spring of 2020 that it said, I think it was called No Matter the Weather, and it had the rain boots in it. I think that is my favorite one so far of all time that I have received from Paper Pumpkin. This card has Cherry Cobbler, and then this is the Misty Moonlight. And this is the Plaid Tidings paper, whereas you might think that that's just a Christmas paper, there are several that are really nice papers for masculine cards. I put a few of the holiday gems on here because they are in that Cherry Cobbler. This is our Misty Moonlight ribbon, our in color ribbon. I popped this up on dimensionals just to kind of have it stand out against this. So like I say, and then I just did the envelope to match. And inside, I just had a little scrap piece, and so I put that in there at the bottom to give it a decoration, and that still gives me this to write a note, or if I really want to get wordy, I can do them all there. But I just think that these are super fun cards, and they, like I say, they lend themselves to anyone, but especially to someone that you might think displays their cards for a while or enjoys them, or might just bring a little sunshine to someone. Don't forget about our Designer Series paper sale that runs through the end of October 2020. There are a selection of different patterns available. Go to thepolkadotlife.com and click the shop tab, and you will be able to see everything that's available. I will put a link in the description box below. Also, sign up for our Joy to the World paper pumpkin kit before October 9th, and you can be included in all of the fun in making some cards for this season. As always, remember to be kind, send a card, and do something creative. Bye-bye.